What about you? Personal experience?
I think I always interpret from a conservative bias, I guess, that I have. That's what I grew up with. If I feel like there are TV shows or whatever, or even people on Facebook or Twitter or whatever social media or whatever media outlet, I always want to be conservative versus way too out there.
Okay.
But there are those who enjoy the out there kind of shows and out there kind of news, and that's up to them, And there are some of my good friends that love those shows that push the boundaries, and they're good people. So I think it's always finding the balance between disengaging. Okay, this is the media that I enjoy for pleasure or just enjoy for social, whatever, except they have good boundaries and okay, it's not going to affect my personal life. So I think people who can discern that at the end of the day, no matter which spectrum you're on, tend to live, I don't know, with healthier boundaries or healthier understanding. I don't know.
Would you say, because I will say, I think that you have to try to look past your personal experience when interpreting content for media. Would you say the same thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like we, in one of our classes, we've actually had this debate about a cover for a Batgirl comic that recently came out. There was a big thing about it. I think it was Batgirl 44.
Right.
With an image of the Joker, with his one arm around the Batgirl with a rifle, a revolver in his hand, and then the other he's painting a red smiley face.
Right.
And some people felt that it was supposed to be kind of a callback to a graphic novel called The Killing Joke, where the Joker and his goons do some horrible things to Batgirl, even though they don't actually know that she's Batgirl. They're doing it to try to make Commissioner Gordon go crazy in the original Killing Joke story. People felt that this was too graphic for the I think it was preteen and teen audience.
Yeah.
And him and I actually had a conversation about it. I've read The Killing Joke and he hasn't, and I feel like it wasn't that bad. There was nothing there showed that he was going to sexually assault her or that he was actually going to do her any physical harm at all. And in fact, it seems like usually from my experience with comic books, the Joker's intentions are not to actually harm a lot of his victims with necessarily a physical sense, but to harm people in a mental capacity. He's trying to mentally tear people down, it seems like. And so, I felt like, he's not even a man, really. He is an idea. He's an idea of what real evil is, So what about you, Ron?
It's funny. I'm glad that you brought that up because, of course, I disagreed with most of the people there. People said, "Yeah, it's horrifying. It's misogynistic." I didn't look at it that way. Mm-hmm. Of course, if someone says it's misogynistic and me being a man looking at that same,
and that's true. We both acknowledge that too. We both acknowledge that we're grown men,
and but I think it's different because. If someone, I think in our earlier conversation, if someone had gone through physical abuse and they look at that image and it triggers some very deep but very real emotion experiences, that should not be negated. For that person, that image is very abusive. It's explicit content, so on and so forth. And even in the same vein, someone else who has never gone through that, could say the same thing.
Yeah,
that's fine. But from my perspective, it looks very human. It engages you because you can think of someone or some experience where something evil has happened to a very similar picture that the Killing Joke or that picture had represented. So I think my heart did go there. It's like, wow, that looks terrible. Mm-hmm. But to say it's misogynistic, to say that this is a man, whatever man's perspective, and it's a man's world kind of thing, and the men have the power, and I think in that image, sure, you could said that, but that's just, I don't know, it's a normal image.
Yeah, I mean, like, for me, I didn't understand the misogynistic part of it because I said it a few moments ago. I'll say it again. I don't feel like the Joker is really a man. He doesn't have, at least his character from everything that I've ever read and the way he's portrayed, he doesn't think like most men probably think. Yeah. He doesn't have the same, like, even base desires as a man. Like, maybe a man wants to sleep with a woman or another man, whatever they want to do. I know a lot of times we're associated with sexual proclivities, fine. Okay, the Joker doesn't do that. He is focused on hurting Batman, which is not always a physical thing. It's a mental teardown. He's focused on holding up the things that we consider taboo in society and being like, yeah, but you don't want these done on public, but it's okay to practice behind closed doors. That's what I feel like his character is. I don't even perceive him really as a man in general, and that's why I don't really understand some things like that when the artist is forced to, and apparently he graciously took it down, which he decided not to push it, but that just seems bad when an artist who wanted to capture an audience, and when I saw the image, it caught me. I was like, well, I really want to read this. I want to look at it now because the way the Joker is smiling and the way that Batgirl looks so terrified. I see it as like a fly caught in a spider's web, and he's just playing with this toy. That's the way I see it, and I gravitated to it. So I mean, it does come down to personal experience too, as you were saying that some women that may have been molested by men, they're going to be offended by that image, and they have every right to be. That's fine. That's your personal experience. And the same as my personal experience doesn't. I'm not offended by it at all. I'm actually like interested in finding out what happens. How hopefully she gets away, and So I guess that's just how personal experience affects your interpretation of media. And it's important to try to move past your personal experience and interpret information from an unbiased standpoint, if at all possible. And that should be the goal of a person for every type of media content.
So why don't we wrap it up here?
Yeah.
So what are some takeaways?
He said you should be unbiased in your interpretation of media content whenever possible.
So you do that by looking at more than one source, right? Get the whole rounded picture of what's actually going on.
You need to understand what the goal of the media is versus what your position as the audience member is. You need to understand that they're just trying to push a product to you, and that you need to be well informed before you purchase this product. And you're not actually necessarily putting money out, but you're accepting their information, which means that you're taking in their credibility, and it becomes yours when you start using that information to others. So make sure before you use that information, you check your sources, because otherwise you lose your credibility and people won't listen to you.
Right. Anything else?
We're going to be great parents. No, I think that's about it.
You don't think I'm going to be a good parent? You don't think you're going to be a good parent?
Well, we'll see. We'll see. 20 years down the road, we'll see how our kids
We'll make a bet right now.
Yeah.
And
so
we'll
just have them competing against each other. And, it all started with a video. And I think that's about it. I think we covered most stuff.
So be smart about the media that you take in, and get the whole picture, and have responsibility.
And you know what? One last thing too. As a parent, you need to make sure that you're well informed on the content that your kid's watching, and that in a lot of scenarios, if the parent lets the kid watch the content and the kid acts out, that doesn't fall on the creator's shoulders anymore. That's not the creator's responsibility. The creator provides the information, but the parents are the ones who allow access.
Right.
So just be careful with what you let them see.
Right. And once again, these are just our opinions and our thoughts. They carry very little weight.
Yep. No weight at all.
So do not quote us.
I carry all the weight.
Do not quote us. If you find our talks interesting, great. If you hate us, great.
Maybe you'll like the next two.
Yeah, maybe
much
you'll like
better.
the next two.
The next one's gonna be superheroes.
Yeah.
Our analysis of comic book characters, their influence on our culture.
And once again, those are our opinions.
Yeah. And then our last one's Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Yay. That'll be good.
All right, that's it for now. We'll see you next week. Take it easy.
Bye.